What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Sunday to you guys. We are here to discuss the Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 15, episode 4 or 5. I think it's 5. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I'm ready for next week's episode. Did y'all see the previews for next week? Baby Kandi look like whoo cha. Ooh cha. But let's get into this episode because honestly, I'll be honest with y'all, it really wasn't a whole lot here. So this ain't gonna take long. Okay. So let me say hi to the people before we get into this. Um, Thank you guys for coming in, hitting that like button, and come on in, taking a seat, child. Hey, everybody. Kenya said I haven't even watched this episode, but I'm here for your review. Thank you, boo. Lemon Kush, Miss Sharon, Amber, Moya. Hey, boo. I haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, my love? Hey, Keisha, Nikki, Willie Brown. Hey, Mr. Willie Brown. How are you? Ruru, Cool Gamer, Diva Law. What's up, my ma's in the house? Hey, Corey. What's up? What's up? What's up? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, we pick up where we left off with the people out there mad at Kenya, cussing and fussing at Kenya. Listen, I feel like we already exhausted this scene last week and all through the week, and it played out on social media and all that good stuff. But here's the part. Let me tell you one thing I can't stand. Marlo showed her natural ass. I mean, she showed her in this episode. And hey there, I'd rather see your review than the epi is that bad. I mean, it's not horrible. It's just, it wasn't a whole lot to it. Honestly, it really wasn't a whole lot to this episode. So I think, and to be fair, we're gonna get there in a second. But to be fair, because there was supposed to be a lot more stuff happening that did not happen. We're gonna get to that in a second. Hey, chosen one, what's up? What's up? Hey. So one thing I have a problem with is people in their bad behavior, and then they want to blame it on, oh, I was drinking. I don't even remember what I did or what I said. We too old for that. I'm sorry. If you are at this point in your life where you're in your 40s, 50s, and you are still drinking to the point where you can't remember what you did, then you need to stop drinking. And I'm just saying, I'm just being honest. I cannot accept that as a reason for your bad behavior. You can say, look, the alcohol gave me a little bit of liquid courage. You can say, I was drunk, I wasn't feeling no pain, and maybe my lips were a little looser. But don't sit here and be like, I don't even remember what I said. I don't know what I did. I was drunk. Like, that's not cool. That is not an acceptable excuse at this point in our lives. Like, it just is not. I'm sorry. Thank you so much, Nikki. I appreciate that. So that already irritates me when I hear people say, well, I was drunk. I don't remember. So anyway, Marlo and Mayetta get to arguing. They arguing on the elevator all the way down steps. They're arguing as they're leaving, and Marlo absolutely slammed that door in that girl's face. Now here's the thing. Do I know that Marlo knew Mayetta was the one that was directly behind her? That part I don't know. But Marlo took that door and intentionally swung it to hit whoever was behind her. She was trying to slam the door in whoever's face was behind her. Now, did she know it was Mayetta? Probably, because that's who she was arguing with. That's who she was mad at Kenya. Mayetta was the next best thing. So probably, right? But it doesn't matter. You absolutely did it. You absolutely did it. It's just stupid. You were mad. You slammed it on that girl's face. Now, let me say this. Do the ladies have a valid point in saying, look, we just want to know what we're here for. We want to know what we're doing. And do they have a valid point? Yes, they do. It was the way in which they chose to express themselves is the issue for me. They absolutely have a valid point, especially since Kenya is going to make a big deal about them. Thank you, Montrez. Thank you. Especially if Kenya is gonna make a big deal about them being dressed inappropriately. Oh, you don't have on the right outfit. Well, girl, you didn't tell me we were going to an after 5 cocktail event. I would have packed appropriately. All them women have enough stuff in their closet to be able to be packed for whatever occasion they need to be packed for. But it's not fair to them for you not to tell them what they need to pack for and then be mad at what they show up in. So from that point of view, they have a valid point. Just the way they chose to express it was the problem. That's the problem. Um, Sonya also brought up a good point. When they were in Jamaica last year, Kenya expected Sonya to, cater to them. This is your trip. We're in your country. You need to be, accommodating to us as your guest. And so Sonya was like, I just expect the same in return. I just expect the same in return, girl. All I'm asking is what we doing. Like I'm literally getting on a bus to go back to Atlanta to come back to Birmingham tomorrow. I just want to know what to expect. I just want to know what I'm coming back for. And Kenya basically told because they called Kenya on the phone, and Kenya was like, "Look, at this point, I only want my core friends here." And she basically said the only person she was really friends with was Monyetta and Sheree. So she basically, in her mind, was like, "The rest of them can go." So Sonya was like, "I just want to know what I'm there for. I just want to know what I'm there for." She told Sonya, "Well, girl, you ain't got to come back. That's fine. You don't have to come back." So Sonya was like, "Oh, say less." Because I got to work in the morning. I was going to go back tonight, get up at old dark 30 in the morning, do my work for NBC News, and then get in another car and come back down here to Birmingham. Girl, you ain't got to tell me twice. I don't have to come back. That's cool. I'm cool. I understand why Kenya said it though. I mean, if I'm Kenya, I might say the same thing. I might be like, well, look, for real, at this point, I don't even want none of y'all here. Because I probably would feel the same way, honestly. So they come back in and they get to Kenya's on the phone the whole time, child. Why Kenya's on the phone the whole time, I don't know, because I'd have been hung up on them on all of them. I'd have hung up and I'd have went to hell to bed. Um, but basically the rest of the night it was just them, fussing and cussing about Sheree. They all end up going to bed. Sonya leaves, child. The next morning they wake up and Kenya is sick. Sick to the point where she called an ambulance to come and, hey Layla, how you doing? She called an ambulance. She said that she was her arm was numb. She was having shortness of breath. She couldn't breathe. It was hard, it was hard for her to breathe, and she had a temperature. So she said she was just recovering from C19. And so they took her to the hospital, out of an abundance of caution. They took her to the hospital and they were giving her a chest x-ray and things of that nature. Now, let me tell you something. I don't know if y'all remember last winter. That flu that was going around last winter was no joke. I had it. Y'all remember when I was sick? Baby, that flu was no joke. It had triggered, for me, it triggered my asthma. So on top of the fact that I had this flu, then I couldn't breathe. They had to give me 2 rounds of antibiotics and a steroid and a breathing treatment. Like a child, it was a mess. That flu was no joke, and so that's what she ended up being diagnosed with, the flu. That's what Drew had as well. So I feel like because they were filming, they were just passing that mess around to each other. I feel like they were just passing it around from one to the other because they were filming. And the thing about being sick is a lot of times you don't know you're sick until you've already passed it to somebody. By the time you start feeling sick, you done already been around people and been doing stuff and you done passed it. So I feel like they were just passing around that same damn virus. Um, but because of that, they basically canceled the rest of whatever they were going to film that day. So that's why I said at the beginning of this, yeah, this episode wasn't giving us a whole lot, but in all reality, they were supposed to film the Circle City Classic. Kenya was supposed to perform. She had a hotel gate set up. She had a product giveaway. Like she had a lot of stuff planned, and I'm sure they were going to film all of that. And then I'm sure they were going to film riding back home and whatever might have popped off on the ride home. So to be fair, the producers probably had to salvage as much as they could for this episode without moving too far ahead in the storyline, because a major part of what they were going to film, they couldn't film. So they end up canceling all that. Thank you, Bap. Thank you guys so much. Thank you. It was wrong to want to surprise your crew by showing up at the halftime show. It's not wrong. It's not wrong. But the problem is, my thing is this. If you hit me up as my girl and you say, hey, let's go down to, let's say, for example, my girls hit me up and they say, let's go down to Hampton for homecoming weekend, right? I know it's homecoming. So I know there's certain things we're going to do for homecoming. But then that first night I get there, you're like, okay, we're going to a black tie event and I don't have a black tie outfit. And we got embarrassed. We were there. We got kicked out. It makes me be like, okay, well, what the hell is what's the rest of this weekend going to look like? Because I already showed up and I'd already got embarrassed once. What else is on the agenda? I don't think it's wrong for her wanting to surprise them that there's going to be that she's performing, but she could have told them they were going to the Circle City to the game without telling them she was going to be one of the ones performing. Like, she didn't have to reveal that, but she could have told them, and she could have given them an agenda. You see what I'm saying? She wasn't wrong for wanting to surprise them, but I just think the way it was done, which of course I'm sure it was done that way to maximize the drama. Let's be clear, they wanted the drama of it, but I think it could have been done in a way that didn't put the girls in a situation where they felt like, well, damn, do we have the right outfit? Do we have the right clothing? Do we know what we're doing? Do we know where we're going? Because again, we all grown. Like, I'm not a little kid. You're not my mom surprising me with a trip to the circus, or like, can you tell me what I'm going? Like, I know we got to show up because we filming. I know it's the Circle City Classic because I'm not stupid. It's the Circle City Classic. But can you give me something, right? And that's right, an itinerary or something, so what to expect. And that's all I'm saying. So the next morning, like I said, they end up having to take Kenya to the emergency room. So Sheree, whose room was next door to Kenya, saw what was going on. So she calls all the ladies to her room to tell them what's going on. Now, all of a sudden, and this is the other thing that irritates my soul too. And I understand that you mad, and then you realize that we were really sitting here arguing over something stupid, and I feel bad because it really ain't that serious, because now Kenya is sitting up in a hospital bed. But Marlo, the main one, talking about some, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, we need to pray. Let's pray right now. Who's going to pray? And I'm just like, I mean, prayer is never wrong time for prayer. Let me be honest. But you also got to be careful who praying for you. I wouldn't want Marlo praying for me after the way she done acted the whole damn fool the night before. You can't pray for me. Sorry. You can't pray for me, Marlo. I don't want no parts of your prayer. Sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I don't want no parts of your prayer. Don't want no part. Hey, KK. Don't want no parts of it. Sorry, not sorry. Exactly. Just simply, everybody can't pray for you. You gotta be careful about that. Everybody can't pray for you. Mm-mm. No, ma'am. So anyway, they all get dressed. At least she thought to pray. They go to pastor trying to be nice about it. Anyway, so everybody gets dressed and they get ready to leave. Um, they say they're gonna have positive vibes. They're gonna try to be positive, and before they can even get out the damn lobby to get to the car, Marlo done started talking shit about Mayetta. I said that's why you can't have everybody praying over you. You just got finished saying, "Oh, we're gonna have positive vibes and we're gonna stay positive and blah blah blah." And 5 minutes later, she talking shit about Mayetta. So anyway, they on their way back to Atlanta. So like I said, I feel like the rest of what, because if you can tell, in my opinion, the rest of not the rest, but the majority of the rest of these scenes were filler scenes. But I don't think it was meant to be a filler episode. I really think we were supposed to get the whole Circle City, HBCU, being at the game. Like, I feel like there was at least 3 more scenes that they were going to probably give us from this trip that we didn't get. And that would have probably been the majority of this episode, where then they had to kind of pull stuff. Because then we see Kandi with Todd meeting about his movie, which again, not a bad thing. Not saying it's a bad thing, but it really just wasn't anything to that conversation. Basically, it's Todd feeling frustrated because he feels like he gives Kandi, his undivided attention, and Kandi ain't giving him, her undivided attention. She texting, she on the phone while he's talking about this movie. I mean, and it sounds like a cute concept. It's about a couple, but can I say something? Excuse me. Hello. Excuse me. Excuse me. The movie sound cute, but I feel like it's a recycled storyline. Now, it might be old enough that people don't remember. Maybe you're gonna put the black experience twist on it, but they said the concept is about a couple. The movie is called The Pass, and it's about a couple that basically give each other a pass to do what they do. Actually, I take that back, because the movie I was thinking about is different. I was thinking about Indecent Proposal. That's a little different. That's different. That's different. So I'm gonna take that back. I take that back. It's not the same thing. But didn't they do Hall Pass a few years ago? It was like a comedy. Didn't they make a movie called Hall Pass? I feel like production fumbled the ball. They should have been filming Kandi at the Ebony 100 as well as Sonya at NBC. Well, I don't mean no harm, but what we gonna see Sonya at? I mean, I don't mean no harm, but I don't really want to see Sonya at NBC. Do what? Commentate the Kentucky Derby? Okay. I mean, to me, that's one of those quick scenes that they show us, like, coming in from commercial. Like, I don't feel like we can make a whole segment out of Sonya doing commentary. But I mean, maybe, different strokes for different folks. Maybe somebody does care. I don't know. I do think we could have gotten some great footage from the Ebony 100. However, they may not have been allowed to film. That's the other thing too. Maybe they weren't allowed to film it. So, right, the movie Hall Pass. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's the same thing, but listen, he ain't gonna be the first person to recycle a storyline in Hollywood, child. He ain't the first and he ain't the last. Okay, Layla, we gonna get there, because I'm not, I wasn't satisfied. The other thing that came up in the conversation with Todd was about BravoCon, and how she said she basically was just hearing from her mom, because um her mom really had been kind of off the radar since they got back from BravoCon, probably knowing that Kandi was gonna be irritated with her. But we're gonna get to that conversation later on in the episode, child. Hell, maybe we at that part of the episode. I already told y'all all about Kenya. Oh, Sheree goes to visit Kenya to check on her. And that's when we find out what all that they basically said she had the flu and that she's still trying to get over it. Um, they sort of talk about what happened that night. Now, Sheree sat there and lied to Kenya and said that she wasn't one of the ones that was banging on Kenya's door. Girl, you was banging on Kenya's door. You was banging on Kenya's door. But you weren't what you didn't do what Marlo did. So I'm not even gonna be mad at you, girl. I ain't even gonna be mad at you. Um, and then she talked about how important that moment was for her, and she feels bad. That she missed it. It was a Circle City Classic and HBCU experience. Shout out to Monyetta representing her sorority Alpha Kappa Alpha. Go ahead, girl. I ain't know Monyetta was an AKA, but she let us know. She let us know. Okay. Um, and we saw her costume. Kenya had her whole costume and everything. So I do feel bad, because that was an opportunity missed. That was a major, major opportunity missed. You put your products in front of a 99.9% demographic. I mean, her product is geared towards black, women of colors, hair texture and styles and all of that. And you literally missed the opportunity to be in front of a stadium full of people that would buy your product. And so it definitely was a hit. A hit to her. And she also said it was an experience. Like, it was something she really was looking forward to. So I do feel bad. I do feel bad. Okay. Um. Thank you, Sonya. She said I haven't watched this show in years, but I love your reviews. Thank you, my love. Um. So then we have this scene between Sonya and Courtney. Y'all, Courtney irks me. I don't want her. Return to sender. Like I really, and it's not just because her and Kandi and I like Kandi, but her whole presence just irks me. Like return to sender. I don't want her here. Ike, why is she here? I don't want her here. Me don't like it. Anyway, she's talking to Sonya. Sonya's basically saying how her feelings were hurt that Kenya put her out, that Kenya sent her packing, and she feels like the only reason why Kenya got an issue with her is because she cool with Marlo and because her and Marlo got this beef or whatever. Child, I need to get some oil. The back of my head is itching. I need some oil. I better pick some when I went outside today. I had to pick some up. I want to try to see this. How we getting off topic. I want to go to Target and get some of the kaleidoscope. The Brat came out with a whole braid line. And I didn't buy any before because I was like, well, I don't have no braids. I wanted to buy some, but I was like, I ain't got no braids. But she's got like the mousse, the oil, the grease, but it's supposed to be for braids. So I'm gonna go by the Target tomorrow, and I hope they have it. I'm gonna show it to y'all if they have it. Anyway, but that's what I meant to stop by Target today, but I was running late. I had to get home and do something, and I was running late. So anyway, Courtney is the new Giovanna. Yeah, I don't like her. I don't like how she came on this show. I just don't like how she moving. I don't. She don't do it for me. I'm just going to tell y'all the truth. She just ain't doing it for me. She ain't doing it for me, y'all. But anyway, moving on. Um, but basically, she was like, Sonya was like, I know that's your cousin, but I didn't really appreciate, you know, um, but she was talking for whatever reason she had an issue with Drew. I don't even remember, child, because I don't care about none of them. I don't care. I use the Brad Kaleidoscope products. It's really good. Yeah, thank you. I'm gonna check it out tomorrow. I'm hoping that the Target has them. I hope that the Target has them. All right. So then we have Kandi sitting down and talking to Mama Joyce, which for me, they got it at Wegmans too. Oh, well, the Target is closer than the Wegmans, but I was over by the Wegmans today. Damn, I didn't know that. I'd have ran into Wegmans because I was over there by the Wegmans. But anyway, I feel like the longer I'm sitting here, the more itch is itching. I need to stop thinking about it. Okay. So Kandi invited her mother. Oh, well, let me say this, Kandi, you still being too nice. Now I feel like you addressed it, but here's the problem: you've addressed it before. I don't feel like Kandi did or said anything different in this conversation with Mama Joyce that she has said in the past about Mama Joyce and how she talks to and or about Todd. The only thing I feel like she threw in there was about the whole thing with the grandkids. Um, and even Mama Joyce came back at her about that and was like, well, um, oh, thank you, baby blue product, thank you. Soak them in water. Everybody tells me that every time. Soak them in water and vinegar and shampoo before you put them in. I didn't put them in. No, I didn't put them in. I didn't do. You think I did this, girl? I didn't do this. It will stop the. Yeah, I've heard that before about stopping the itch. Um, she said that Mama Joyce said, "Well, first, and this is what it was for me right here. Mama Joyce thinks this shit is funny. And Todd even said that. Todd was like, do you think that she keeps doing it because for her it's just like a joke and she's just like joking? But she gave herself away because she said Todd needs to stop taking this so serious. For her, it's a joke. She's joking. She's playing up this whole evil step mother-in-law situation, and for her, it's a joke. And she was like, "Well, when I first met Todd, he was meek and mild, and now he's just, he's all, every rah 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 whatever." And then Kandi said, "Well, we've been together, and it's not cute. Like, stop it. Like, you know, do you want your grandkids growing up seeing you talking ish about their father? Oh, well, then he need to step it up as a man. I mean, he need to be teaching Ace how to be a man. He need to be teaching Ace how to take out the trash, and that's what I feel like a man should do. And that's the kind of the man he needs to be. And every time I come over here, he sleep. Kandi said, because he's avoiding you. He ain't sleep because he's in the bedroom to avoid being around you. And you would think that all these things that Kandi is saying that would make her be like, damn, really? Oh, apple cider vinegar for my sprayed on. Apple cider vinegar is a natural antibacterial agent. I think I have some apple cider vinegar in there. Okay. Okay. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Um, but yeah, I'm just like, it's not cute, and I just feel like Kandi needed to be a little more forceful. I think Kandi needed to be like really like, and I know that's her mother, but there's a way for her to be forceful and still be respectful. I ain't saying she gotta cuss her mama out. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying she gotta, but there's a way that she could have done that and still been respectful to her mother. And I feel like that is which it needs to be. But because I don't feel like Kandi said anything this time, anything different than what she said the last 3-4 times that she had this conversation with her mother. You and Todd have been married for 9 years, been together for like 11 years. At the end of the day, she's not going to stop doing what she's doing until she's forced to stop doing what she's doing. Um, but that's okay, Jonathan. You don't have to listen. Jonathan says me and Mama Joyce share the same birthday. If we don't like you, we just don't like you. There's nothing Kandi's going to be able to do to change Mama Joyce. I'm not asking her to change Mama Joyce. What I am asking her to do, or what I am saying is, you can continue to feel how you feel, but here's what's going to happen. There's going to be a consequence for you disrespecting my husband. The reality is, you don't have to like him. I'm not making you like anybody, but what you are not going to do is continue to disrespect him in his face without consequence. That's it. That's all. So, since you don't know how to act at BravoCon, you ain't coming to BravoCon anymore. And if you get an independent invitation to BravoCon, then I will not participate and sit on stage with you on BravoCon. How about that? How many invitations you gonna keep getting if I don't participate? Okay. Number two, I'm not gonna subject my husband. I am not gonna force my husband to be around you if you cannot respect him. So what that means is you are not invited to the house anymore. If you want to see me, either I'm coming to your house or we're gonna meet somewhere outside. But you ain't coming over for birthdays. You ain't coming over for Christmas. You ain't coming over for Thanksgiving, because I'm not gonna make my husband feel uncomfortable in his house. Okay? That means that when it comes to family gatherings, family vacations, you can't be a part of it. So no, I'm not changing how you feel. But what I'm saying is, you will not openly disrespect my husband without consequence. That's all I'm saying. Now, you ain't gotta like him. You can talk all the ish you want in the privacy of your own home, when you talking to your sisters and y'all talking y'all ish, when you on the phone talking your ish. But what you're not gonna do is go on Bravo and keep disrespecting my husband. I am no longer going to allow you to take it to a to the national stage where you're going to disrespect my husband. That's it. That's it, and that's all. And in my opinion, that was the conversation Kandi needed to have with her mama and say, look, mama, here's what it is. From this day forward, this is what it is. And either you can respect and comply, or I see you when I love you, and I'm still going to talk to you on the phone. Me and you can still go out to dinner and lunch. But I am no longer going to force my husband to be around you. That's just how I feel about it. She ain't got to cuss her mama out. She don't have to disrespect. And I mean, honestly, if she want to keep taking care of her mother financially, that ain't my business either. That's between her and her mama. I'm not even saying cut the purse strings. I'm just saying I'm no longer going to reward your bad behavior and force my husband to be around you. I'm not going to do it. Because at this point, it's tired. It's just tired. What does Mama Joyce mean about a man, according to Kandi, Todd pays all the bills? But here's the thing, Tasha, even if he didn't, that thing got shit to do with Mama Joyce. What Kandi does in her household and how Kandi chooses to break down her bills in her household still ain't got nothing to do with Mama Joyce. But I understand your point, though. I understand your point. Um, so anyway, I think Kandi, and I understand that's your mama. I get it. But that was the conversation I needed to see from Kandi. Honestly, that was the conversation I needed to see. I needed Kandi to be like, Mama, look, either it's gonna be A, B, and C, or it's gonna be A, D, E, F. Like that's it. Anyway, so then we see this last scene between Kenya, Drew, and Sheree. Now Sheree is feeling some kind of way because that interview with Drew that dropped, where Drew said that Sheree took back all the She by Sheree after the reunion, and yeah, it looked cute at the reunion, but when it was over with, child, we didn't walk away with none of that She by Sheree. We didn't get nothing. Drew, girl, you be lying when the truth will do. Like you wanted to create a moment, you wanted to sensationalize because come to find out that wasn't true. Um Sheree did not take back all of the She by Sheree. She said, "Well, there was a bag that I wanted, and you said I couldn't have that bag." Well, first of all, she said, "I don't think I said all. Did I say all? I didn't say all. Well, y'all know the producers played the all back, right? You know they played it back. So of course she said that Sheree took all of the stuff, right? So that's number one. Then she said, well, there was a bag there that I wanted, and you said I couldn't have that bag." Sheree said, because that was my personal bag that had my personal belongings in it. She said my assistant wasn't even supposed to bring that bag out. The bag wasn't even supposed to be out there. Now, I think the bag was supposed to be on the rack because she was advertising. She was supposed to advertise. She was supposed to let us see all of them $500 pieces that she got on her website. So I think the bag was supposed to be out there. However, that wasn't part of what she was giving y'all. And Sheree was like, "Girl, you got t-shirts, you got this, you got that, but you mad because you didn't get the bag." Now, all I'm saying is you could have told that. See, you can still have said that without sensationalizing it. You could have said she made it seem like we were getting all of that stuff, and girl, all we got was a t-shirt. That still would have been the same point. Like, I feel like your point would have still been made. All we got was this damn t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? It would have been the same point. It would have been the same exclamation point at the end of that sentence that Sheree lied about us getting everything and making it seem like she gave us all of this swag and we walked away with a t-shirt or two. Like, she could have said that. You know what I'm saying? And so Sheree, you had a right to feel some kind of way, child. You had a right to feel some kind of way about that. So then, and Sheree said, "Well, me and you had talked, and I thought we were good, and then this interview drops." Now, she recorded the interview before her and Sheree had the conversation, but like Sheree said, I'm really not concerned about the timeline. I'm still concerned about the fact that you felt that way. I'm still concerned about the fact that you said it. Like, I'm not even upset. I ain't even worried about the timeline. I'm still worried about the fact that that's what you said. That's how you felt, right? Okay, so then we have that. So then they got to talking about the argument between Drew and Marlo, because remember when Lord Kandi, when Kenya tried to bring it up, Marlo cut her off, and Marlo was like, she didn't, because she knew she was wrong. She knew she acted a fool and that she was wrong. So she cut, Kenya off when Kenya tried to bring it up to the group. So they're telling Sheree about it because of course Sheree was like, well, Marlo said that you was standing over her, and Marlo said this and Marlo said that. And Drew was like, no, I was standing up, away from her, and she was sitting down, and then she got up and got in my face, which is what happened. She also said that, basically the scene was over, Marlo wanted to talk to me because she felt like I took it too easy on Kandi when I wouldn't use the actual word shooting. She said, but I'm from Chicago. We don't use that word. Girl, what? And of course, production showed her saying the word shooting. Again, you lie when the truth will do. All you had to say was, I just didn't feel it was necessary to say the word. Or I didn't feel comfortable saying the word because I didn't want to put that bad, I didn't want to put that on Kandi. Like, girl, you could have just told the truth, but all of that, I'm from Chicago, we don't say shooting. Since when is that like when you cross the state line into Illinois, does it leave your vocabulary? Like, I don't understand. Girl, y'all be lying when the truth will do. So then Sheree is telling them the version of the story because she was like something about her nephew and something having to do with OLG. So Sheree is telling the story based on what Marlo told her. And this goes back to what Kandi said on her speak on it, where Marlo said that her nephew and the nephew's roommate both worked at OLG. That the nephew was working at OLG. He met the guy at OLG. They became friends and they became roommates. And then he was the one that ended up actually. Thank you, Tasha. I ain't think so, child. Um, and then he was the one that actually shot the nephew, right? So my thing is this. So you and Kandi said on her speak on it that they checked the employment records and that the guy never worked for OLG. The nephew worked for OLG, but the roommate, never did work for OLG. Okay. Um. So that again was Marlo and her damn lie. Um. Child, that's pretty much where this episode ended. Okay. Again, it looks like next week Kandi gets activated. I don't know. We're gonna see what happens, child. Courtney has invited the ladies to some team building. You got to beat the bomb. I've seen these pop up. I've never been to one. It's almost like a escape room type situation. It's like an escape room type situation. Um, but yeah, and here go Kenya. She gonna ask Drew, did you give her my number? Girl, production gave her your number. Child. Drew was like, no, I didn't give her your number. Production gave her the number, child. Okay. Anyway, that was pretty much the episode. Like I said, this episode wasn't really a real exciting, but I think part of it is because they had to shut down filming when Kenya got sick, and I think that was the majority of. The thing is, and here's the thing you guys got to understand. Not you guys in the sense that y'all don't know, but for people who don't know, even though it's a reality show, there's a storyboard, right? They have a storyboard at the beginning of the season. All of the ladies let production know what type of events they have coming up. Um, I got some peppermint oil upstairs. Thank you. What was that, lavender oil? No, you know what? My peppermint oil's at work. I used the peppermint oil at work. I got lavender oil upstairs. Anyway, I'll get some tomorrow. I'll get some. I just deal with it. Yesterday it didn't seem to itch this bad, and it's just right here in the back. It's the rest of my head is fine. It's just right there in the back. But anyway, so I lost my train of thought. Oh, so there's a storyboard. So before they even start production, they know what is going to be on what episode. And they know what they're filming, like if it's somebody's gonna have a Christmas party, if somebody's gonna do a Friendsgiving, if somebody's gonna have a tea party, like all these different events are not spontaneous. They sit down with production and because production has to make sure that they have a crew ready, they have to make sure they have whatever clearances they need for the different events, transportation. So I say that to say when Kenya could not film the Circle City Classic, it probably threw off everything they were going to do for the second half of this episode. So a lot of those scenes, I hate to use the word filler because I think people overuse the word filler because everything isn't a filler episode. But this, I think, really truly was a filler episode. But I think it's because Kenya, what they had planned, they didn't do. And it didn't make sense for the rest of the ladies to go to the Circle City because none of them had a connection to anything going on. I mean, not Circle City, that's Indianapolis, child. to the Magic City. I think I've been saying Circle City the whole time, but none of them have any connection to the Magic City classic. None of them had anything to do with this, so it didn't make sense for them to film it, for them to send the ladies instead of Kenya, because everything was about Kenya and Kenya more hair care and all of that. So when they had to shut down production for that episode, they had nothing else. And again, you don't want to get too, you don't want to go ahead of the storyline too much. So I think a lot of those scenes were scenes that we probably would not have seen. Like that scene between Kandi and Todd, we may not have ever seen that scene. Um, what else? We saw Drew coming out of the emergency room. Like, who gives a damn? No disrespect. I'm glad you're feeling better, but like, who cares? Okay, girl, you went to the hospital and you got some meds. I mean, you had the flu really bad. So, but yeah, they worried about activating Kandi when Drew has missed majority of the season. Activate that heifer. Well, child, we sure ain't seen Drew, have we? So anyway, that's pretty much the episode. Now the speak on it is with DJ A1 again and Marietta. I'm probably gonna look at it. And DJ A1 is hilarious. Um, I'm gonna look at it. If it's anything I want to share, y'all, I'll share it with y'all tomorrow. But we're gonna probably have a regular tribe meeting tomorrow, and then of course the panel is tomorrow evening. It's gonna be on Sakina's channel, Simply Sakina's channel. Y'all know I always put the link on my community wall. I've been putting up Black Music Month questions. So y'all go to the community wall and participate. And that is pretty much it, y'all. One of the best things Potomac has going for them over Atlanta is that they have tighter storylines. Well, I guess. R and Diva, I did a whole review earlier today. Go look. I did I did a whole review on the Menendez brothers and the Menudo documentary earlier today. A whole review on it. Um go look at my videos. I literally did it earlier today. So the answer to your question is yes, honey. We did a whole breakdown earlier today. All right, y'all. Let me get out of here. I will talk to y'all later. Peace.